wasn't good for the blacks in the South. You know, especially Alabama and South Carolina. So my dad moved here first, and my mom came, and she met my dad, and my father became a pastor, and then I'm a PK kid.
Okay, what's that?
So PK means a preacher's kid.
Oh, preacher's kid.
And it's a funny story. When I moved here, when we moved here, I was only a year old when we moved to the area where we're at now.
Okay, a year old.
Yeah, I was 1 year old.
So and you lived down south?
No, I didn't live down south.
But
we moved in this area.
Okay.
Because we lived about 2 blocks
over there. Got it.
Then we moved about a block away from here.
Got you.
Yeah.
So then when you moved here, you were 1 year old. Tell me about it. Where was your father preaching at?
Where was your father? He was a pastor.
Chinatown. Like,
no, Monroe Street, which is not too far from here, maybe about 4 blocks, was the first church. And then the next church that he opened, which was on Eldridge Street, on 72 Eldridge Street, was where the Ghost Shadows originated, on Eldridge and Forsyth Street. That's where they originated.
Who was the first Ghost Shadows, do you know?
Of course I know. Mickey Yap was the original leader of the Ghost Shadows. Now, Mickey Yap started, I'd seen him later on, and he owns a store over on East Broadway.
Okay.
The second leader, who people mistake was the first leader, is Nicky Louie, who's my friend. I taught him how to speak English.
Really? Okay,
yes.
Okay, we speed it. All right, we speed it. Hold on. You got me hyped. I don't know. What's going on? Like, you got these muscles, man. Tell me, what's up, man? What did you do? Don't say you don't know. It's gonna put you strong as hell. So, okay.
Yes.
You're born here. Father's a pastor kid, a PK.
Yes.
How do you get into, because now you're close to Chinatown. Where are our people? Like, because if you're right across the street from Chinatown, that means that you become friends with predominantly Chinese people, right?
Right.
So, but where predominantly Chinese people your friends? Did you have any black friends at the time? Was it
Absolutely.
Yeah, explain that to me.
On the other side, what separates Chinatown from the other side is the project building.
I see it. Okay. Yes.
That project building, those projects there, Alfred Smith projects, predominantly Hispanics and blacks and whites.
Okay.
So that's where they grew up, but we weren't allowed to come here unless we were just buying food at night. You couldn't come here. Really? You could beat down, killed, so we would stop. Not we. Certain kids from the neighborhood would stop.
Got it.
But I was kind of a rebellious kind of kid, man. I wanted to learn martial arts. I wanted to learn other cultures, so I would take a chance and come through here.
Okay.
And so what would happen was there was a school called Junior High School 65, which was on Forsyth and Eldridge.
Gotcha.
And I would walk through there to come through here and go through there to get more of the culture here.
Okay.
And
I think it's big
there
as
was
shit,
a school
bro.
called Junior High School 65.
Look at his fucking
and that's
arms.
The school where the original Ghost Shadows, the Black Eagles, the Flying Dragons, all went to school together. Really? They were not gangs at the time. They were just guys that hung out. One murder changed that. One murder changed. Fully son who did it. And one side was my friends, Mickey Yap, Nicky Louie, John Wong, David Chan, God bless the dead. We were friends. And when that one guy got killed in an argument in a restaurant right around this corner here, everything broke loose.
Explain this. How old were you when that killing happened? Come on, let's go.
When the killing happened, I was 13 years old.
Oh, wow.
So at 13, you being a PK kid, were your parents busy? That's why you was outside a lot? Were your parents, was it like that? Like parents is busy, you had to I don't want to say raise yourself, what was it like in the house for you to get mingled up?
I was just a rebellious kid.
So you gave Pops and them trouble?
Yeah, because, it was praying 3-4 times a day, going to church 4 or 5 times a week. And I wanted to see the real world.
Gotcha.
So I wanted something different. And I was fascinated by I was fascinated by the martial arts. And I wanted to take myself to another level.
Sorry to cut you off. Was it because they had the martial arts on the television back in the day? Did they have the martial arts on television?
No.
Okay,
No.
okay.
Bruce Lee, there was a TV show, The Green Hornet with Bruce Lee, which was very popular. But a lot of us blacks and Hispanics didn't have TVs. And if we had TVs, we had 2 or 3 channels. And Bruce Lee, the Green Hornet, only came on once a week. I believe it was on Fridays it came on. He was popular, but he didn't make such a big splash that everybody wanted to study Kung Fu. This is a very popular street right here.
Okay, tell me about the street.
This is where the Tong Wars was. Where the underground fighting was. This is all through here is tunnels. All under these buildings are tunnels. What amazing tunnels that go all the way down to Grand Street. And we would fight bare knuckle tournaments underground here. So when they would call it underground bare knuckle fighting, it was literally underground bare knuckle fighting. Now, what's this street on that side was where the black people.
Don't worry, not even the PCA would anticipate
On this side was where the Ghost Shadows came. Okay, now the Ghost Shadows
get in there and get to work.
Couldn't come through here. If they came through here, they were murdered automatically.
Murdered with what? Knives, hatchets?
There was no guns back then.
Got it.
There was no guns. Or you would find them hanged in the park somewhere.
So they hung people.
Oh yeah, it was brutal. It was brutal.
And this is the 70s?
This was the early 70s. I joined the Ghost Shadows in 71. What? Yeah, 1971. I joined the Ghost Shadows. I was them. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 1970. I'm sorry. 1970. I left the Ghost Shadows at the end of 1971.
Got it. Mm-hmm. So, tell me about the killing that happened around the corner from here.
Yes.
The restaurant. Tell me that story.
It was a civil argument. Okay. And they had, to this day, nobody knows what the real beef was about, but it got to the point where it escalated, and then Sui Sung started stabbing David Moy, I believe his name was. If I'm not mistaken, I might be mistaken on the last name, but his name was David. Stabbed him to death in the restaurant. When that happened, we were hanging out. It was a Friday. We were hanging out at Junior High School 65, and everybody started talking about it. Now, William Sui Sung, he had a group of friends that he hung out with. So what you call Ghost Shadow was called Kuan Yin, which means group of eagles. That was the original name. And that name came because the black Eagles developed their name first, and to counter them, the Kuan Yin became the group of eagles. Got it. The group of eagles was led by a guy named Mickey Yap. Mickey Yap. Okay. Mickey Yap. And so when Mickey couldn't do the job, they brought in Nicky Louie from Hong Kong, who was my friend. Got it. My job was to hang out with Nicky and teach him to speak English. Got it. Because none of them spoke good English. Got it. So I started hanging out with Nicky. That's how we became friends. Got it. And taught him English. He was the ruthless one. The reason why they called the group Ghost Shadows, that wasn't the original name. The original name going back was Group of Eagles. And then Kuan Yin, Group of Eagles. And then the Ghost Shadows became Ghost Shadows because Nicky Louie got shot 8 times point blank with a 350 whatever caliber, whatever big powered gun, and he lived. And they started saying he couldn't die. So they came up with the name Ghost Shadow.
Okay, so
You say you got shot 7 times with a 357? How? You said how?
okay, so when did? Because when you hear about Ghost Shadow, you hear about a guy named is it Ricky? Not Ricky. Peter.
I hear it all. Peter Chin.
Okay,
He's next generation.
Oh, he's next generation. So
Next generation.
So you was the first generation Ghost Shadow. You remember, and you were friends with. What's his name?
Nicky Louie. Mickey Yap.
Okay. So he got shot 8 times.
Yes.
357.
Right, while having dinner.
And he lived. And they call it the Ghost Shadow.
They call it the Ghost Shadow.
Now, is it 8 or is it like 4 and it came out? It looked like 8. Because sometimes
8 times.
Okay, 8 holes inside.
8 holes.
So we'll make sure, you locked in.
Yes.
All right, and then What
Nah, because
happened
you know niggas be getting
after
shot
that? Like, give me the
2
story.
times per system with in and out,
So
double
after
it.
that, Nicky kind of lost it. And he just went really crazy. And they got revenge. And they went all through Chinatown getting the Black Eagles. Now, yes.
Now the Black Eagles were a Chinese group. It wasn't.
It was all Chinese.
Got it.
Only myself, Eddie Tank Cruz, God bless the dead, he was my student. He was the only Puerto Rican. But after me came quite a few. That was a lot of these guys after me. And I'm hearing about this lately, and I'm saying, these people got the story wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. A lot of this is second and third generation stuff they're talking about. They're not talking about the original. I was with Nicky years ago. And he came, his son Jacob, and he came to my driving school. And
We can look into that later.
Jacob,
Got it. So Nicky Rubicon still have a
no, I closed that one down.
Okay.
Got it.
Yes. Okay, so I'm sorry. So, all right, so then,
Go 78, requesting
what do you
backup.
think, what stories do people get wrong? I hear a whole bunch of stories. Are they not breaking down that they're generational? Because, you know, when you see, shout out to, like I said, Peter, and, you know, you hear these things. What do you think people are getting wrong when they tell these stories? As the OG, that was because you were the original, you were part of the original Go Channel.
Yes.
You talk about your around the corner. In there.
Yes, right around in there.
Yes. Did you see one down JR where it was like the Flying Dragon thing?
This was separated the Ghost Shadows from the Flying Dragons and the Black Eagles. The Black Eagles and the Flying Dragons were allies. The Ghost Shadows got it.
What stories that they get wrong?
Many stories get wrong. Okay. One guy was saying that there was a lot of blacks and a lot of Puerto Ricans in the Ghost Shadows. The difference of being socially and being a member. You understand? They know blacks and Hispanics, yes. Or their members, no. Okay? The other thing was talking to the territories. They had the territories all wrong. Okay, you know, they're saying that they're not saying, they're saying that the Ghost Shadows
Enemy squad destroyed.
the territory was bigger than what it was. It wasn't. It was very small. Actually, the Ghost Shadows were small. They were big. The Black Eagles were big. The White Eagles were big. The Flying Dragons were big. And this is why Ghost Shadows had to send guys in from Hong Kong and get them to come here so that they can help them fight. Those wasn't a lot.
But maybe at their time, they got big.
They got bigger, yes. But this is what I'm saying. From the beginning, they got to tell the story from the beginning. That's so that they can know what came up from the beginning. Because a lot of these guys, my friends, lost their lives behind this. You understand? They died. They were stabbed. My friend, David Chan, David King Pong, John Wong were brutally murdered at the coming out there for watching a movie, and they went right into the ground. They stabbed one 17 times, the other one 16 times. These were my friends. I was with him 4 hours before they murdered him. So I want to make sure that their stories are told. And the only reason why these younger generations survived, because they weren't murdering each other like that. They were more about the money, extortion, and picking up the stores and making the store owners pay. And so by that time, most of the elders would then, they set the platform for this by putting down their lives.
That's an interesting. Okay, I'm with you on that. Do you? Wow. So, what was the point? So the point of Ghost Shadows originally was just pure revenge.
Pure revenge.
It wasn't off of the extortion that it later grew up to be.
No.
Pure revenge. Pure issues.
Yes.
Pure. Was it territorial as well?
It was territorial as well.
Okay, but then how do you think they got money back in those days?
They didn't. They had to do whatever they could to get money. Whether it was robbing stores or whatever it took. The professionalism didn't come until this next generation.
Gotcha. Okay, so tell me what made you join the Ghost Shadows?
Well,
Because if we go down this way, does it turn? Like,
Yes, it turns right into the Bowery.
The Bowery. Okay,
Yes.
so, but I want to go back deeper into Chinatown. So should we go back this way?
No matter where you go, you're going deeper.
Okay.
When you go to the Bowery,
Where's that curved block? That block with
the Bowery is pretty much at that time where the territory stopped. It only went drips and drabs beyond the Bowery.
Got it.
So in terms of what made me get into it, it was kind of like I was hanging out with them and I was fascinated. They didn't officially initiate me or anything like that. I just was able to hang out with them.
Got it.
But when it came to the triad meetings, when it came to them dealing with the money and things like that, I wasn't allowed.
You was not allowed?
No, I was not. I would have to stand outside. But with everything else, the fighting, I could participate in. The walking with them, I could participate in. They even kept things secret from me. The only thing that, with everything else, at meetings when it came to them dealing with the money and things like that, I wasn't allowed.
You was not allowed?
No, I was not. I would have to stand outside. But with everything else, fighting, I could participate in. The walking with them, I could participate in. They even kept things secret from me. The only thing that they didn't keep secret from me was when they were going to kill me. And they let me.
So you were like an
Ah!
yeah, big like this back in the day?
No.
They just look at the black guy, like you see the black guy, like
Yeah, well, no, they didn't need me. I wanted to hang out with them. They didn't need me.
because you wanted to learn the culture.
I wanted to learn the culture. I stood out like a sore thumb. I that was the time that we killed me. That's what got me out. Took me out. Is that I knew that I stuck out like a sore thumb. So here I am walking through Chinatown. An example of it. And I just
Try to make an example
the
of it.
Black East. You know, Ernie Lee and these guys. You know, Ernie, he was a Chinese Cuban that came here, and
Nigga said Chinese Cuban.
he was ruthless. Oh, he was ruthless.
Ernie Lee.
Ernie Lee was ruthless.
Really? So, okay, give me a first, so now you're joining them. Tell me, I want to know the first incident, where it happened, if it's around here. First incident that you got involved that it had to be physical. Of your first time walking into something that was physical. Because you were cool with the leader.
Yes.
This bitch.
Help you. Help you. Got you. So
Nigga.
give me the time that that it started to get sticky. Tell me when it started. Because I know my team did tell me that at one point when it was getting so crazy. So tell me when it got sticky while you was involved.
It got sticky when my friend could come back here. That's when I started thinking it was almost time to get out because I knew it wasn't going to get any better. But once they killed him, and it made me. That's only the second killing that made me. And the first killing, the first killing,
This motherfucker.
and when they killed, when Suicide killed that young man, they got this name before the station. I forget the name, I don't want to say the wrong name. They killed him. That's what set everything changed. Everything. And the age of the especially the younger generation that got it, went to school, and they just took his life. You know, and they took it really personal. And then when Coach Allen came together, they were, I told Quan Yin came together. They said, you know, we're going to have to, 18 guys that 50%. And that's how it all started. And I was there the day that they decided. In a home, on 4 sides between Hester and Branch. I was there to that part, but wow. Yeah, it was, they talked.
He's a moving ass nigga, man.
And I remember David Chan, King Kong, who later on got murdered, Giraffe, who got murdered, Andre Wong, who got murdered. All these guys were murdered. And most of them was crazy, but a lot of them were murdered outside of movie theaters or inside of movie theaters.
So the movie theater was that, what was the movie theater? Because I heard, they showed me last time there was a movie theater like, there's a by the bay. There was a couple of them in different territories.
Yes, you have the Music Palace that's here on the Bowery and Hester Street. Then you had the notorious one. The two notorious ones was the Sung Sing Theater, which was on Forsyth Street and East Broadway. Then you had the Pagoda, which started the territory of the Black Eagles and ended the territory of the Ghost Shadows. And that was the Pagoda Theater right there. We was talking about that the other day.
Where's that? How far is that from here?
No, not only a couple of blocks.
Can you go visit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're gonna actually pass where he got killed.
Okay.
On the
And
way
if
there.
one of y'all don't mind to stand in front of JR to guide him, please, please, just stand in front of him while you walk.
So this was a main block for fighting. This is Pell Street. Pell Street was well known because the Black Eagles were on this side,
Okay.
and the Ghost Shadows were on that side.
So Black Eagles on this side, Ghost Shadows on that
Yeah,
side.
so this was a main strip for fighting right here.
Oh.
And you got a lot of underground tunnels all through here, all through the street.
Did you have to put hands on anybody?
Yeah, unfortunately,
Because you seem like a kind guy, man. You don't seem like you want to talk about beating anybody up. I saw you. Let me see. And I see your hand. Where did this come from? What in the? Where did this come from?
Life.
Life.
You had to growing up around here. You had to know how to fight.
Okay.
Yeah, you had to know how to fight. This street here, this is Pell Street.
Okay.
This was notorious for gang activity.
Okay.
All through here. No, we're not going to go through there.
Okay.
No, we won't go through there.
Because this street leads out. I walked down there last. This street leads down to the other side.
Yes.
Okay. And this was Flying Dragons territory.
This was Flying Dragons territory.
Got it.
Exactly.
Got it.
That's one of the things they got right.
Got it.
Yeah. That's one of the things they got right.
But still,
Mm-hmm.
when you say get right,
Mhm.
it could still be generational. Things could still have changed.
I totally agree.
Yeah,
But
things could still have changed. Like people could have taken over territories from when you were younger and from when the time that's, do you think that could have happened?
Have you ever heard a story told from the middle and then go to the end?
No.
Okay. Everything has a beginning.
That's a good line. Oh, man. What you keep? Well, hey, listen, hey. Hold on, OG. Don't be giving me those old school. Don't be leaving me stuck like that. I've never heard anything told from the middle. No, you're not supposed to.
No.
So I get it. Okay. Give me those old school.
The middle?
Things.
I totally agree.
Yeah,
Things
stupid.
could still have changed. Like people could have taken over territories from when you were younger and from when the time that, do you think that could have happened?
Have you ever heard a story told from the middle and then go to the end?
No.
Okay. Everything has a beginning.
That's a good line. Oh, man. What you keep? Well, hey, listen, hey. Hold on, OG. Don't be giving me those old school. Don't be leaving me stuck like that. I've never heard anything told from the middle. No, you're not supposed to.
No.
So I get it. Okay. Wow. So, no, it's just fascinating. When you sit back and you watch these things, right,
Yes.
and you hear these things,
Yes.
it makes you want to set the record straight.
Yes.
And question for you.
Yeah.
How is the leadership passed down? Are you aware of that? You don't know that because you got out by that time.
When I got
How
out,
do they pass leadership down?
when I got out, I completely got out.
Got it.
I don't want to know about it. I didn't want to remember my friends. Many of them I did about it. I rounded it off today till about 15 of my Ghost Shadow friends that were
Make your way in.
17. So this is the Bowery.
Okay,
So this is basically what separated the Black Eagles,
Attack is
the
that.
Flying Dragon, the White.
Pitiful
This
dog.
is the most
Sorry
powerful.
for
Where the young man got murdered, this was on this block. His way. I remember that clearly because it was right around the corner of the
First gen
Okay, so,
organization.
and if I had to guess,
Don't think twice.
if I had to guess, I'm going to say
Before he kills you.
it was right.
2 repair kits remaining.
I had to guess because I remember coming here at the point right there, killed at the table when this was going on.
Okay, so this is the restaurant here.
And this was a restaurant. This was a restaurant. What they had what they call Optimo. No, Optimo is like what you would call like a hardware slash paper stand slash anything you want. So they were so they might have had
What the fuck?
I remember, I would say instinct. comments because everybody wants to know where he got killed.
Okay, I didn't know the motherfucker uses health.
To get this.
The fuck?
And that was 1970. Oh man, that was in 1970. That's what started everything.
So where's the theaters at?
The theaters, okay. The Music Palace is right down that block. That's where my friend. I would like to go there, and I'll tell you why. That's where my friend David Chan was born.
Please.
Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. Come on, man.
And so we're going to the Music Palace. And the Music Palace was a turning point for when
How much different is it?
Black youth really got very serious, and that's when you could probably anybody that's watching this can Google it. David Chan and John Wong was killed, and I was with both of them about 4 to 5 hours before they were killed. And I remember that day was an eerie day, and it's hard to talk about it without crying, but it was an eerie day for me because at the time David was only about 13, 14 years old. They killed him. They were Ghost Shadows were young, man. We were in junior high school. There was only a few Ghost Shadows that were in high school. We were young. I was still in junior high school when I was in high school when I was with the Ghost Shadows. And when they killed him, I remember he was very quiet that day. And I kept saying, hey, you okay? He was a very bubbly guy. He lived only a couple blocks away. He was a very bubbly guy. And then I kept saying, are you okay? You all right? He was like, he would just shake his head. And I told my friend, God bless the dead, he's dead too. I said, what's wrong with David today, man? Why is he acting like that? And so 3:30 came, because we were playing football. 3:30 came, and 4 o'clock came, and then they started whispering amongst each other. They excluded us. And then they all walked out the building before they walked. I said, David, I'll see the right what you do. He goes, just put his hand up and wait. He never did that. He walked out the building, walked up the hill, and I called him and said, David, I see the right. He turned on and looked at me and screamed. And I got a horrible, I don't know why, I couldn't put it together then. That night, they burned me coming out of the theater and my father was the one that said, oh, they're mine. They're just killing each other. And I said, what are you talking about, Dad? And I looked over his shoulder, and there's the heart. And it said, name me. And I screamed, and I ran in the room. And it said he got stabbed 17 times. He got stabbed. Right there. The right training.
This bitch. Oh, ah.
And when they came out, they walked into a ambulance. And David in between cars. They trapped him in between cars.
So why were they after David though? Like who was he that
David was a ghost shadow. All you had to simply be
okay, got it. So all you had to
getting killed.
Got it. Okay.
You know? So that's how most of them lost their lives. They just
Back to work.
Their only thing they did wrong was being a part of the gang. And that's how they lost their lives.
How did they? So you got down with the gang by just being around. How did some of these
just hanging around?
How did some of these young men get part of the gang? Because when I watch the stories, I hear that some of the older guys will come to the schools and tell them you will have to be a part of the gang. Did that happen?
That recruiting process that did happen, but that recruiting process came after the war started getting really big.
Got it.
That's when that recruiting process started. But prior to that, that wasn't something that they did. You know, they were killing each other. They needed more soldiers. You know, very simple. And they were killing each other at that rate. If you maybe Googling on the Chinatown gangs in the early 70s was the worst time, the worst period.
So everybody went to school together. It did say that. Everybody went to school together. So that means
no, everybody went to that school together. That's junior high school 65. That's right. Back.
Yeah. Everybody went to that junior high school together.
Yeah.
And like you talking about the Ghost Shadows, the black
all the Black Eagles, white, everybody in the school. They did not fight in the school. They did not fight in the school. They would leave, walk past each other, give each other beans, but they did not fight in the school. And one group would go one way, and the other group would go the other way. You know, and
Good
this
job,
is...
61.
What's up, buddy? Yoshi. How are you? Good to see you. I love you, man. And so if nothing would happen until the evening, or until if you stayed after 4 o'clock, then you had to watch your back because they'll wait for you. We got ambushed like that, actually, and a friend of mine, a Spanish guy, got stabbed by them. They were Barista. And we were leaving the school, and there was maybe 8 or 9 of us, and we were walking down the street. They ambushed us, and he got pushed.
Oh my God.
And you know anything about a bayonet? A bayonet, the blade is almost like 14 or 16 inches. Oh. And it went completely through his back, into his neck. Oh my God. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Put anything, but I'm saying you don't have to get too graphic. Said that you have to take that to your own phone and gang number
so I was able to say that. I had you know, and wasn't I don't know, especially back then, now, it wasn't that. You still hand to hand, back to back,
Oh my God.
until the 80s.
because there's a theory in the hood, right?
Or theory in the folklore that
Okay, close to me?
I guess snapshot. Yeah.
yeah, because the knife is more pressure. To stab somebody and try to kill them.
Bro, you gotta get up on him.
It's not like you shoot them fall down. You stab the person, they're fighting back. It does, you know, not like if you stab and you knock them fall, that's not like it's like punching somebody. You understand? And with a knife, unless you hit them in the main artery, they're still not going to fall just like that. Unless they fall out of reflex. But a stab is personal because you got to stab a person multiple times to kill them.
Right.
You know, and I know because I've seen too many. I've seen too many.
What is it to a kid like you who's a practice? Like you said, like right? Like you're an active kid. And what did that do to you?
It's traumatizing. It's just traumatizing because you've seen it on TV with Gladiators. But in Gladiator movie, you see the guy next to him. True. When a friend is killed, that's it. Gone. You know, and now you gotta live the rest of your life remembering that guy that you used to laugh with, play Johnny on the pony with, and stick on the train and high five. You don't have that opportunity to do that. So it becomes very personal for young kids because you got a long life to live. And you got to live that long life remembering your friends.
Good job.
So Byron, that's a young age. Everybody Byron at 13 years old. Same you are, same you are in violent now.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have enough time to think about the repercussions of if a child sat back and said, if I kill this guy, nobody's going to ever see him again. His family's going to suffer. He's going to suffer. He's going to go to jail. If you put all of that in perspective, chances are there won't be that many births. But a lot of times, births from the younger generation come from the lack of, you know, impulse, you know, not realizing the repercussions for not only on this side, but on the other side. There's repercussions for taking somebody's life. So the movie theater, this was the movie theater here. Wow. Wow. And as a building now, this was the Music Palace Theater, you know, one of the most...
No.
Separate, like I told you, the bottom separated.
What?
the Ghost Shadows from the Black Eagles and the White Eagles were old. They weren't as the Black Eagles. They were. See, this right here, this was the okay, and it came out. It was more here on the front. Okay, so apparently when they came out of the theater here, they walked out and the Black Eagles were here. And a seat. And David King Cup tried to run and trapped the ball. And they put stabbing.
Yeah, I don't know what
So he tried to run through the car. Right. He tried to run. And they trapped him off. Right. And as they trapped him off, the other guy, John, tried to run. And they trapped him off. Right here. Yes. So it had to be more than 7 or 8 of them because they were taking turns stabbing them to death. And when that happened, that changed the war. That was like, you killed David. David was very well known in the Ghost Shadows. John wasn't as well known. I didn't get along with John too much. I didn't want to teach him how to speak English. Although I was designated, I didn't want to teach him because I didn't like him to get a bad attitude. But he didn't speak English. He was a very cocky kid. David wasn't. And I believe they wanted more of John, in my opinion. But David was a cocky kid. They got both of them put them together. And what hurt me so much was David got it. Now, people wanted to I think they killed David. That changed my life. And that's when I considered getting out of the shadow. And they wanted to see it. But right after that, I think it was 2 more words. I'm sorry, Andre Wong, he got killed as and then my friend Duran got killed right after that. And I have to fix them at home. And AP on that 30%. Yeah. So, that changed.
I asked Richie this, and I want to ask you, like, did some of these guys back in the days, what were their families like? Right? Did their family, when their kids got killed, were their family? Because I know, like, did their families come around and mourn them? Did they have a lot of families, or some of them? These days, a bunch of people come together as a family. Right. Back in those days, I know some of them had to come here, go to transportation, or come here. Did they have a lot of family here, or no? They didn't have a lot of family. And you gotta remember, that's the thing.
They weren't very communicative. They weren't very approachable to the history. And when we came around, myself, my superintendent, God bless you, dead, who with me most of the time out with them, taught them a lot of better way AP had, because they didn't know. And they were very lazy. And that's the English 30%. Very. His father was one of God bless his father, his pastor, my good friend. His father asked me to start training him. When I trained him, when he had a child, that child happened to be him. I started training him. I'm going to get into that right now. I want to tell you, did Pops ever find out that you were did Pops find out that you were what's that young lady? Crazy story how my mother and father found out. There was a guy that was involved in the black city, and I walked very cocky, slick guy. I'm walking down Henry Street, in Martin Street. They used to call him Old Man. My mother was walking with my sister, Callie, and Otis Daddy had 50%. True story. Yeah, true story. And my mother screamed out my name. I dropped the knife and started running. That's how they found out what I was doing.
Ranger knows that your alignment is charging keeping lights on. you go to great lengths.
That's how they. True story. Sister, Catherine and Market Street. Very bad because he was very cocky, he was a short guy. I'm walking down Henry Street between Catherine and Market Street.
Main system.
They used to call him Old Man. I was a short age. My mother was walking with my sister, Carol,
It's an
and
autonomous
walking
PC
that.
aircraft. Don't twist. You'll have to break it full stop to inflict meaningful damage.
And my mother screamed out my name. I dropped the paper and started running. That's how they found out. Yes. So, and he was part of the Black Eagle. Part of the Black Eagle. They called him Old Man. And behind the stage, they called him Old Man. So Old Man, this was going back then. So
How did the issue with you and Black, how did the issue with you and Old Man transpire? Where did you see him? Was it school? Was it in the street? Was it around here?
in the street, he was making fun of the death of my friend David, and he was letting it be known.
Oh.
And I kept hearing his name come up and what he was doing, and I happened to be going
Yeah.
home from school.
Now we can't have
My
that.
friend Tank,
Nigga, no, we can't have that.
man, I had never seen him. And when he seen us,
Nigga, dumb. No, we
he
can't
kept
have
walking
that.
towards us like he wasn't afraid.
Main system. Deactivating combat mode.
And we see people on the night to try and run. And we ran between the car and Tank cut him off.
It's an autonomous PC
And
aircraft.
it was
Don't
it was
twist.
perfect because that's how they
You'll
killed
have to
him.
load its pulse armor
And I
to inflict
looked at the
meaningful
captain,
damage.
Fuck.
and I turned, and it was my mother watching the dance. All in the corner with my sister in shock.
Bow.
And she turned and ran in the opposite direction. What was after that? I got home. My mother had already told my father. And because they were pastors, my mother,
Fuck.
they did that in Chinatown after that before. And my
You know what I need to do? I need to change my buttons. I need to change the buttons. Yeah, because that shit can be blocked. See what I'm saying? I'm sure it can be blocked. I feel like that could be blocked if I had the right controls.
That came from a lot of healing.
And you can't do that?
Does that bring you to an emotional state? Because it's like, can you visualize mom?
First of all, why is the color so fucked up on there?
Like what it is. Mom telling you that the hurt in their face, the hurt in the parents, can you visualize that?
It shows some detailed.
It hurt me. It changed me. It made me want to consider leaving the gang because
Hey, all right.
like that. While the boy is screaming, he was screaming. He was screaming in pain. And my mom seems
No.
And the reason why he's alive is because of my mother. And I realized that my whole life flashed in front of me when I got home. And I didn't want to do it no more.
Wow.
And it was only a couple of weeks after that I left Ghost Shadows.
Okay. So tell me what was next for Nathan. You leave the Ghost Shadows.
Yeah.
No longer, but you're still around. Do you still come to Chinatown or you fell back completely?
I actually avoided Chinatown for a long time.
So that means you go the opposite way.
I would go the opposite way. Although my friends, I would bump into Nicky Louie, but by this time, Nicky Louie was the leader.
Wait, what?
Because they didn't. Yes, by this time, because he wasn't the original leader like everybody's saying. He was. The
Okay.
Mickey Yap was the real.
Mickey Yap just wasn't built for the leadership role. He didn't.
Where?
Want Nicky,
There are duplicate controls. Please check settings. Okay.
Was the leader.
Go up.
yes.
And then, but he didn't
Cool.
wanna-
He didn't want to do that. He wasn't.
What the fuck do I need to do next?
The ones that came from Hong Kong were the killers.
Ooh, okay. So they the one that
What the fuck?
Right, the ones that were born here weren't the killers. It was one that they brought here, and they brought Nicky Louie here. And when Nicky Louie came, he changed the game. He was a complete warrior. He changed the game, and he did some things for me just to show that he was my friend. when I had a problem, he did some things for me.
Cool.
And handled it. That's how close he was. He offered for me to be his daughter's godfather a couple of years back.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm still friends with him to this day.
Wow. Dickie Louis.
Dickie Louis.
And okay.
The nicest guy you ever want to meet.
And a lot of killers, a lot of guys are like that.
System reactivating
A lot of guys like that,
combat
right? They're very nice.
Yes, humility is a big factor in big time.
It's an autonomous
Because you can explain
PCA
that.
craft.
Okay, see,
Frontiers.
the loudest guy
You'll
in
have
the
to
room
break the
is
pulsar
all
to inflict meaningful damage.
So,
I'm pressing it.
At 30%.
these guys are going to say,
Massive signature.
they don't go around brag, they don't tell you. They don't want the bomb that does the most damage is what? Quiet. Hits you with not season. And it does the most damage.
My nigga. Okay, that okay.
And it being the line. These guys will humble, but they would kill you throughout the time. And you get a lot of guys that talk, and do all of that. Sometimes I laugh at them because I said he's the weakest one in the foot. Because he's telling you where he's coming from. You don't have to guess. He's already telling you. But the guy in the back, you got to watch him because he ain't saying a word. You don't know where he's coming from. That's how they do it.
Reactivating
Gotcha.
combat now.
Give me the next step.
Let's go see how we shoot.
Moved into the enemy
David,
craft.
the last time I seen
It's
him,
an autonomous
Okay, sure.
PCA
the
craft.
building where he,
Frontiers. You'll have to break the pulsar to inflict meaningful damage.
no, so we go down here.
Done this way?
We go down this way.
Farm me this. I'm sorry. Thank you.
So this was a notorious strip here. With Black Eagles and the Gold Shadow. Gold Shadow ran this on this side from Christie Street over to Allen Street, Hester Street. This is Hester actually, but beyond Hester towards Essex Street. That's all. You didn't see the Black Eagles, and they were very conscious not to go there.
Fuck.
Pulsar ready. Now's your chance, Raven.
So, this is what was bothering me because a lot of the streets were not being told.
Pulsar offline.
For the older generation, now the younger generation, I understand this determines that, but I can only tell you how and when Outlaw started very small. It's like most of my about that. Yeah, they were very big plus, but here in New York, it was kind of situated.
Fuck.
Now, this is not this school right here that we're coming up with, it's called
2 repair kits remaining.
it's called 130, 131, right? This was the original school, was junior high school.
Go, go, go.
Okay? And they turned it down. This over here is not part of that.
Waves are intensifying. Raven, get clear.
That building was not there. It was another.
This building right here was there.
It was not there.
Stay on him. Stay on him.
Wash out.
No repair kits remaining.
Now this is okay. This was like a street car, okay? Because a lot of schools can come from this way. This is the hill, right? This was a hill.
The enemy can't take visual.
Up the hill and get over to Christmas. That's where this one of the icons. So,
Bitch.
and
Let's go. Woo, that shit is cinematic. I feel rewarded.
That was it.
Enemy systems
Let's
down.
go.
It's solid.
And you can see this? You can see how that comes down. It's still
Let's go.
That's where you go. And you went into Christie Street.
I was fucking around yesterday then.
We used to hang out.
Didn't take me long today.
Raven,
This is how it
Is
works.
where we were when we were talking
you need rest.
with David Chan, John Wong,
But
Nikki
first a
Louie,
warning.
Mickey Yap, Andre, all of these guys are the original Go Shadows. And
The coral surge you were swept up in,
this hallway here,
that
this
was
hallway
just
right
a
here,
glimpse.
it was bigger. Okay, it was bigger, and we would hang in here and just get away from the school. We couldn't be by where the
A
school was
premonition of
because
the
they'll
storm
see
of flame
that
will
we were
burn
hanging out there. The
Rubicon.
cops didn't want us hanging there, so we come in here, and this is where I seen him when he was walking out, and he went this way. So we followed him out, and like I said, where this building was a hill, and I went over to him.
It's more
And that's
bitches.
when I said, David, I see you Monday, right? And he turned around and he lifted his arm up. And he never did that to me before. He would always say, yeah, I see you Monday. And he just waved his arm. And that was the last time I seen my
So, do you feel like he knew something was gonna happen?
I think he did. That day was very eerie. Many of us talked about it, that his whole mood was on. Farming.
It's headed straight for the central ice field, across the Arlean
We're
Ocean.
just filming something, that's all.
So that was this hallway.
Yeah,
Like a
that whole.
flock of birds
Yes.
or a school of fish.
Yes.
Coral loves company.
Not everybody coming down.
Yeah. So it was bigger than
Somewhere
this.
in the ice
Okay.
field,
It was bigger than this.
massive coral lying
And we were all hanging out in here. And I was on this wall.
You said you could hear a
And David
strange
was here.
voice
They
in your
were
head.
trying to be on this side. We was all laughing and joking.
That's a common
And
side
then
effect of old
And
gen
that's when they
augmentation.
were talking. You went on the secret on the side.
So, and you did say that. You said
Could
it
also be
didn't
from getting
involve
caught
you
in
in
that
like
coral
Personal
surge.
stuff. Right.
Don't let it
Gotcha.
bother you.
Right. They did. And you had to earn that. So somebody had asked me, well, what was your initiation? I need to get it. You were black before you didn't get an initiation. That happened later on. Got it. Originally, they didn't even want you there. They accepted me because I was so eager. I wanted to be around them. I played friendly with them, and I practiced kung fu with them. Got it. You know, and that's how I became,
I have a favor
you know,
to ask.
so close to them. Got it. And then I said, I'll teach you English. They, yes. And I started teaching them English, and that's how it happened. Got it. And this is the place. This was the place. It was the last place. It was the last place.
How this struggle
This is the last place that he was in when he was alive.
Yes, this is the last place that I seen him.
That you seen him alive.
Go. Okay, yo, man.
File your taxes
Augmented human
100% free in the app. You
C4621.
didn't file with us last
Entering
year.
standard
Just
mode.
file with TurboTax Do It Yourself by
New
February
messages.
28th. No matter your tax
No, I didn't. I did, but I didn't. I wasn't using it as an asset.
free by February 28th.
You can ram niggas. Ram niggas it takes health. Very little, but it keeps you underneath them and they can't get their moves off. Pause.
And that's where
One shot
that
for you while
last
I'm
time I
out.
seen my friend and he got killed, right?
Rest up.
But you showed me.
Where I just showed you.
That's an order.
What happened after that? Tell me, because you know, you became someone big. I mean, because you went to underground. I need to know the steps, man.
When I left the Ghost Shadows and I went on to another gang called the Royal Javelins, which was
About that trip
very
into the
popular
ice
gang
field,
during that time of
we've
the
received
bomb.
a job from
And
them
they
already.
wanted me because they seen the, you know, I was because of the experience I had with the Ghost Shadows. So they seen me as a guy. We gotta have him. I joined the Royal Javelins, became the vice president. Got shot. 1973. It's all you can see in the paper. Movement. And I got shot 1973 in a gang war against the Dynamite Brothers. And after I got shot, and all this time I was training karate, and I had just got my black belt June of 1973, and I got shot July 2nd, 1973, 2 days before 4th of July. And when I got shot, I remember my mother came to the hospital and she seen me and she said, I told you he was going to get it. And she asked the doctor, where did he get it? And the doctor said he got it in the leg and in the back. And she said, I wish he would have got it in the head. Yes, my mother's words. She wished it, because I was giving them such a hard time. Hearing my mother's words, I decided I wanted to get out, but I had to get my revenge first. Got out of the gangs, and wanted to start teaching full time.
But wait. What did that do to you? So you took, you were aware you were giving mom a hard time.
Yes.
But hearing that as a child, that didn't do anything to you mentally?
Yes, it did.
Did you have any resentment towards
Yes.
her?
Yes. No, I didn't have any resentment.
No resentment towards her?
I knew what she meant.
Okay. Because, you know, these days, if a kid hear that, it's different.
Yeah. I knew what she meant. I was laid up in the hospital bed in Gouverneur Hospital, and I'm laid up in the emergency room, and I knew I had caused havoc on the streets. I was notorious.
It's like a
They got footage
power
of me,
punch.
you know, talking about this stuff, and when I got that bullet in me, 2 months later, I decided to change my life, man.
After revenge.
Yes. In court, they asked me who did it. He was sitting right in front of me, and I said, I don't know. I don't see him here. And they dismissed the case, and I went outside, and I told him. And he came to hug me and said, thank you. And I said, don't thank me.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So the gang you joined from, was it a black gang?
It was black and Puerto Rican. Mostly Puerto Rican, but with some black.
And what was the name of it again?
The Royal Javelin.
The Royal Javelins? What type of gang?
Google it. Is just like the Savage Skull, the Black Spades, Shingling Nomads, the Ghetto Brothers. It was all of us, and I was one of the leaders of the Royal Javelins. There was 1,500 of us, 17 divisions. I was leader of the 15th Division, 3rd Chapter, Royal Javelins.
Nice.
Yeah, you can Google it.
Nice.
Okay. You get
Nice. I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
Changed my life.
You got shot twice, you said.
I was shot twice bodyguarding in 1987, but the first time was 1973.
Yeah, you got shot like 2 times that day, though. In your back and the leg, you said, right?
Oh, no, it was one shot, but it was a sort-of shotgun.
Oh.
So I got hit with the whole...
Can you bring me to that story? What happened that?
Man.
Can we walk to Lunas? How far is Lunas? Let's go back to Lunas.
Okay.
Come on.
We have to go...
Well, back to Lunas.
Okay, we can go that way.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. Can you tell me that story, please?
Oh, man. The day that I got shot is what you want to hear about?
I do. If you don't mind. Only if you're comfortable with it.
I don't mind.
Okay.
I was down south going to my grandmother's funeral. I was in the Royal Javelins. They didn't tell me that we went to war with another gang called the Dynamite Brothers.
Got it.
Me, I was kind of, how you doing? I was kind of a cocky young man, and I didn't really have much fear in me. So I was dating.
He was like old man.
Yeah.
He was like old man.
I was dating a young lady, and I wanted to go see her. So when I came to Fifth Street, I said, listen, I'm going to go see my girl. And they said, no, don't go. We're at war with the Dynamite Brothers. I said, I don't care. They're a bunch of cowards. This is what I said. And I went down there, and she seen me, and she goes, don't stay here. She said, go. If they see you, they're going to kill you. I didn't think they had it in them. I really didn't think they had it in them. And I stayed, and I was holding her, and they came. The guy who came first, his name was Kid. God bless the dead. He died. His father was the vice president of the Hells Angels. They called him Kid. Vinny, the vice president of the Hells Angels, was his dad. If you Google him, he was very popular. Heavyset guy.
Okay.
So he said to me, didn't they tell you not to come around? And I said, who's going to stop me?
Which way we going?
Straight.
Okay, he said go straight. Let's go. Then they told you not to go around,
So they said, well, if you stay around here, I'm gonna come back. And sure enough, he came back with 4 guys, and I was with 3 of my friends. And 3 of us got shot.
Damn.
I didn't think I thought he had a baseball bat, but he had a shotgun behind his leg. And I didn't run, I just stood there until he pulled it up, and then I realized it was a shotgun.
Too late.
And by that time, I turned to run.
Right, he already had a drop on
He
you.
pulled the trigger and caught me, and they pulled the trigger to my friend, Ralphie. They got him too. And
everybody lived.
They got him too, you know?
Got it.
So, and after that, They rushed me to the hospital.
Yeah, that's on you.
Some of the guys in the gang happened to be driving by, and they rushed me to the hospital. And I couldn't walk for about a month.
Okay.
And that's how it all happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Here's to the go-getters. And not just the ones in the gym, but everywhere. The birthday party bosses.
Wow. So Mama Love said what she said. And then now, okay, now whatever happened. But how were you able to still be outside if you do respond? Like, why was it no other retaliation? If you retaliated, why weren't there retaliation towards you?
Because we did what we decided what was necessary for us to do. Said we handle it big. Said,
I got it.
I got you. I was sitting after it happened a couple months later. I think it was not a couple months later. I think it was the end of September. And you're not supposed to leave the javelins. And without getting beat down, and I left the javelins without getting beat down. They respected me, and they let me go.
How did that conversation transpire?
I came back with my colors because we used to have the motorcycle jackets. And I came back with my jacket and I handed it to them. And they refused to take it. And they said, you know what happens now? And I said, I'm aware, that's why I'm here. And they said, okay, start walking. And I turned around to walk away. That means they're going to jump me from behind. And I turned around to walk. And I kept walking. When I got to the corner, I turned around and looked, and they were all standing like this. And I broke down and started crying, and they let me go.
That's powerful.
That's some movie stuff.
Daddy, that's a movie.
And they put their hand up just
They
like
put
that.
their hands up like this. There was about 12 of them. And they said, we love you. They started yelling, we love you. And they would come around the neighborhood and check on me. About 50 or 60 of them. They would come in the neighborhood and tell people if anything happened to me, they coming back and destroy the neighborhood.
Okay, so
That went on for a little while.
all right, now give me what's next. After that,
I met a young lady, and she
Yeah.
knew who I was, and she heard of me, and she was saying a lot of people in the neighborhood
Okay.
martial arts, they wanted to train under me.
okay, so sorry to cut you off. What age was this, and when did you? Because you didn't tell me how you started learning martial arts.
I started learning martial arts 1968.
Who taught you?
I had several teachers, but my main instructor at that time, his name was Angel Crespo. He was a Philippine guy. And then he taught me traditional karate in 1968. And then when I joined the Ghost Shadows, I started studying under the head guy. He wasn't actually the leader, but he was like their advisor. Peter Chan, he wound up becoming a very big teacher in Hong Kong. He's still alive. He's probably in his 80s now. He taught me white frame Kung Fu. And then from him, I didn't want to continue with Kung Fu because I felt it was too light for me and I wanted something to make me stronger. And I went back in the mountain and I started training in 1970. And all this time I was in the gang, I was still training. And I opened up my first school in 1973 after I got out of the gang. And right there where I showed you, we can walk past it. We got to walk past it to get us this door.
So now, if somebody, so you still could defend yourself?
I think so.
So if I
Oh, shit.
I don't trust that laugh, man. It's something. I'm
sure
researching, but it's a little deep with you. That laugh is not a regular laugh. That's like I'm a kid
not far.
type laugh, man. Come on, man. So, okay. So you're saying, okay. Wow. So, you went back to karate because you felt like Kung Fu was not really your thing.
I didn't feel I felt that I was Kung Fu karate. Karate is a lot more aggressive, a lot more fun, a lot more fighting. And Kung Fu didn't have that. You know, at the time, I loved Kung Fu. I still love Kung Fu. I never talked bad about it. It wasn't for me. And I wanted something because I was already a skinny kid. So I wanted something that was going to help build my strength. So I started training more in karate. Yeah, no, sorry. So that's good.
It comes from teaching more about patience, still, like, just like what was the traditions of all the.
Alright, but not. Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
I think people were more braggadocious, and I like the balance that Kung Fu gave me of being more spiritual. And even to this day, I try to stay away from the foolishness and a lot of things that I see on social media.
Got you.
I try to stay away from that stuff.
Got you. Okay, well, you got it.
And so I went into karate and I started competing in bare knuckle championship. And I was able to give them because I was from Chinatown, so I was like the premier promoter for bare knuckle championships here in Chinatown.
Did it go underground? Like, so,
Yes.
so the underground stuff you were talking about as well?
Yes, I fought underground from 71 to 73, and then I started fighting outwardly in 1973 to about 1978.
How many people have you seen get killed in bare knuckle?
I've never seen anybody get killed in bare knuckle.
Okay.
That was a rare occurrence. And it didn't happen, no matter what they tell you, it didn't happen in Chinatown.
It didn't happen in China.
You see, people got their butts whipped, we got beat up, but nobody really got murdered. And if they told you that, it's not true.
It's not true.
Not true.
Okay. So you do that, you're practicing
Mm-hmm.
73, 70, like.
Right,
you
nigga, the
just
shooter
practicing.
with
What's
him.
the next big step?
That is the coolest shit, bro.
In terms of
Just life.
That nigga really got the
Right,
Asian
like,
shooter
now
with him.
or then?
No,
He's like, yeah,
that-
nigga, I
I
raised
wanna
his
lead up to
pops.
that.
I wanted...
Wait,
I
what?
wanted to-
This nigga's like, yeah, nigga, I know his pops.
Story. I'm walking with my mom. 1968. We're walking right this block where we're going now. There was a Memorial Day parade. As the parade is going on, I see some guys in sunglasses.
Okay.
I said, Mommy, look at the guys in sunglasses. She said, Nathan, you know who that is in the middle of them? And I said, no, who is that? She said, that's Robert F. Kennedy. And I said, John Kennedy's brother? And she goes, yes, son. I said, wow. When I said wow, he heard me. And he turned and looked at me and he stuck his thumb up like that. Like giving me a high, you know.
Yeah, I understand.
And I gave it back to him.
From New Orleans to Miami to Tijuana, murder mics like a history when I hear the drama. So I shoulda warned ya. We murder mics.
So, about 2 weeks later,
What, nigga? You heard him?
and I'm gonna show you now. We were walking in that area, and we're coming
Man,
to
it's
the
hot in this
opening of
motherfucker.
Chinatown, and my mother goes, no, I say to my mom, I said, Mommy, one day I'm gonna open up a karate school right here. And my mother was drinking Sanka coffee. You ever heard of Sanka coffee?
No.
Sanka is a non-decaffeinated coffee.
Okay.
She was drinking it. She did a big laugh and spit the coffee out of her mouth. And she said, little black boy, she said, some dreams are real. And she said, and that ain't one of them.
Mm-hmm.
She said, these people ain't gonna never let you open up something. She said, you might as well become the president of the United States before you open up a school around here. And at the time, she was right, I thought. That was in 1969. I think it was 69. Whatever year he got killed, I think it was 69. Because he got killed a couple of months after that. 68?
Yeah.
When that happened, 5 years later, I opened my martial arts school about 50 feet from where my mother told me that. When I opened my first school,
Yeah.
I was 18.
How did you get the money?
I didn't have it. I rented out. We had, I didn't rent out. It was a community center where I'm going to take you by now.
Okay.
It was a community center called Mariners Temple Church.
Okay.
And Peter Chan, who was the advisor for the Ghost Shadows,
Got it.
remembered me, and he said, and I had told him, I said, Peter, I want to open up a school. He said, we'll let you have the space here. And I said, really? He goes, yeah. And he let me have the space, and I walked in with 50 students. And from then, I never turned around and looked back.
How was that possible? Where did you get 50 students from? Those shadows?
Because people had heard about me, and they wanted to train with me, and they knew that I had trained in Chinatown, and they knew I had trained in different places. And every time I walk by here, my friend's store was right there, and he died from COVID. Yeah. But so walked in with 50 students, and from that day for the next 40, 50 years, I just taught thousands of students in this area.
Beyonce, that just won't seem to go away.
Beyonce birthday. Here we go. This boy's good.
There's a conspiracy theory about Beyonce that just won't seem to go away.
Beyonce got caught in a freaking lie.
My birthday, September 4th, 1981.
The claim is that she and her family have been misleading them.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
September 4th, 1981.
The claim is that she and her family have been misleading the public for decades about her true age.
She went to high school with Beyonce.
That she's possibly already in her 50s.
I told y'all that.
Now, what keeps this theory alive isn't unsubstantiated social media chatter, but comments made publicly by the two people best positioned to know the truth: her parents, Matthew and Tina Knowles.
Matthew Knowles, how you doing?
Over the years, both have shared stories about her early childhood, but when those comments are placed alongside real-world timelines, the details don't seem to match up. They came this alleged bombshell piece of evidence. What you're looking at is an apparent document that leaked from the Texas Department of Health, stating that a certain Beyonce Giselle Knowles was in fact born on September 4th to Matthew and Tina Knowles. The only problem is, the stated year of birth is 1974, which would make her 51. But the real truth lies in this image, and the guy pictured next to her. Beyonce Knowles Carter is undoubtedly one of the most successful and talented superstars the world has seen in modern times. She's the most awarded artist in Grammy history with 32 wins, and was named Billboard's greatest pop star of the 21st century. Oh, she's also married with children to Jay-Z. But before she became the megastar that she is, Beyonce Knowles was born in Park Plaza Hospital in Houston, Texas. In 1984, at the age of 3, she attended St. James's School, which is where she would meet one of her future Destiny's Child group members, LaToya Luckett.
There was a young lady sitting in my assigned seat, and it just so happened to be Beyonce.
Now, around this age is where the first conspiracy begins. There's a story that Beyonce's mother, Tina Knowles, told Haley and Chloe Bailey during an interview about the time she took Beyonce to the Jacksons' Triumph Tour in 1984.
When Beyonce was 3, I took her to the Triumph Tour with Michael Jackson and his brothers.
The problem with this story is the Jacksons' Triumph Tour actually kicked off in July of 1981 and ended September the 26th of the same year, meaning she couldn't have taken a 3-year-old Beyonce to that tour, as Beyonce would have been born only 2 weeks before the Triumph Tour ended. Plus, the Houston stop of the Triumph Tour was on July the 12th, 1981. Nearly 2 months before Beyonce was even born.
This boy is good.
Hey, Caitlin! Can you make it from there? Hey, Caitlin, come from here.
Of course.
What about here?
You got it. I'm not even gonna ask.
Hey, Caleb, from here might be impressive.
Whatever, Chad. From anywhere.
There's a conspiracy theory about Beyonce that just won't seem to go away.
Beyonce got caught in a freak.
For future Destiny's Child group members, LaToya Luckett.
There was a young lady sitting in my assigned seat, and it just so happened to be Beyonce.
Around this age is where the first conspiracy begins. There's a story that Beyonce's mother, Tina Knowles, told Haley and Chloe Bailey during an interview about a time she took Beyonce to the Jacksons' Triumph Tour in 1984.
When Beyonce was 3, I took her to a triumph tour with Michael Jackson and his brothers.
The problem with this story is the Jacksons' Triumph Tour actually kicked off in July of 1981. And
Nemo was at a good
September
album.
26th of the same year.
I must say.
Meaning she couldn't have taken a
Nemo was at a
Beyonce
good
to
album.
that tour.
I said, oh shit.
Beyonce would have been born only 2 weeks
happening?
before the Triumph Tour ended.
I thought it was happening.
Plus, the Houston stop of the Triumph Tour was on July the 12th, 1981. Nearly 2 months before Beyonce was even born. People then point to an interview Beyonce's father did on The Breakfast Club.
Pink. She's the exact same age as Beyonce. And you had Usher. He was the same age. They were all 14 and 15 years old.
Well, Usher was born in 1978 and Pink in 1979. If what Mr. Knowles is saying were true, it would line up with Tina's previous story about Beyonce being 3 when she attended the Jacksons' Triumph Tour in 1981.
I took her to a triumph tour.
But then that would also legitimize people's claims that she's older than they say she is. And look, artists lying about their age is pretty common in the music industry. Cher, Elvis Presley, Madonna, and even Whitney Houston were all famously evasive about their real age at different points in their careers. One of the clearest modern-day examples is the singer Anastasia. For years, it was widely reported that she was born in the mid-70s, until it later came out that she was actually born in 1968. A marketing decision to position her as younger and more commercially appealing. Unfortunately for Beyonce, she came of age in the digital era, where interviews live forever, documents can be cross-checked, timelines are scrutinized, and even the smallest inconsistency can spark questions that never quite go away. Which brings us back to this document that was leaked to media takeout, an alleged record from the Texas Department of Health, listing Beyonce Giselle Knowles' year of birth as 1974. All credence was added to this when actress Gabrielle Union said in an interview that she and Beyonce had been friends since they were teenagers. Where this becomes murky, Gabrielle Union was born on the 29th of October 1972. If Beyonce was born in 1981 as they claim, that's a 9-year gap, meaning at no point could they have been teenagers at the same time. But they could have, if Beyonce was born in 1974. The next point I often see people bring up is this video. What you see is a young Beyonce, maybe 6 or 7 years old, alongside a friend talking about attending another Michael Jackson concert. In that same clip is Beyonce's younger sister, Solange. If you listen carefully, you'll hear Solange's father asking her to say hi to Grandma. The claim here is Beyonce's maternal grandmother passed away in 1980, and her paternal grandmother passed away in 1977, both before Beyonce and Solange were allegedly born. But a simple search on Google will show you that Matthew Knowles' mother passed away in 1997, so the grandmother he's asking her to say hello to was his own mother. And look, there are certain elements of the conspiracy theory that could be put down to simple error. Let's take, for example, Tina's story of taking Beyonce to the Jacksons' Triumph Tour. Technically, the conspiracy theories would be right. She couldn't have taken a 3-year-old Beyonce to the Triumph Tour, unless she was born in 1978. However, if you listen closely, Tina says the tour stop was at the Astrodome.
My friend said, well, if you go to this certain area at the Astrodome, he's going to come out that way.
Now, there wasn't a tour stop at the Astrodome on the 1981 Triumph Tour. However, the Jacksons did stop at the Astrodome for their Victory Tour, which took place in November of 1984, which would make Beyonce 3 years old at the time, opening up the possibility that her mother had simply confused the tour names. Also, Beyonce's father saying she was the same age as Usher and Pink could just be put down as him giving them as an example of people she came up with on the circuit. What I don't have an answer to is the Texas Department of Health document claim, even though it was reported by media takeout. Nor do I have an answer for Gabrielle Union's claim that she and Beyonce were teenagers at the same time. But there's this piece of evidence that almost everyone seems to ignore. This is apparently an image of Beyonce's yearbook from when she attended Kinder High School in Houston, Texas. As expected, she's listed as a vocalist. Now, directly beneath her name is her classmate, Christopher Cataba, whose photo sits next to hers in the yearbook. This is what he looks like today. And the age he lists himself as is 44, with the birth year of 1981, which lines up perfectly with the year Beyonce claims she was born.
Hi, my name is Beyonce. Beyonce Giselle Knowles. And I'm 16 years old. I just turned 16 about 4 or 5 days ago. My birthday is September 4th, 1981. I'm a Virgo.
There is, of course, a possibility that Beyonce and everyone around her have been lying about her age all these years. That would include not only her parents and her sister, but Kelly Rowland, and even her former Destiny's Child bandmate, Latoya Luckett, who attended school with her at the age of 3, but also lists her own birth year as 1981. They say we often look for validation of our own beliefs and bypass evidence that might challenge them, simply to justify our own perceptions, even when the details don't always line up. But in the end, what does any of this really matter? That little girl from Houston, Texas grew up to leave a mark on the world that will never be erased. Anyway, that's me done. What do you believe? What? This new 50 Cent documentary is foul. But before I get into that, let me show you something. On the 29th of August 2011, the LAPD pulled over this Back to the Future DeLorean near Hollywood Boulevard. The reason for it being pulled over was because it was driving erratically, so they wanted the driver to perform a sobriety test. When the door opened, out stepped a 6-foot model-looking woman wearing a short gold dress and high heels. Now, if you look closely, you'll notice another woman in a red dress laughing to the right side of the screen. That's Claudia Jordan from Real Housewives of Atlanta, the passenger in the car at the time. So clearly nobody's taking any of this seriously. The cops are laughing, as were the women, even when the driver was eventually arrested and booked for a DUI. It's kind of hard to make out exactly who she is in this clip. But if you go watch Neo's Miss Independent music video, there's a scene when he walks into an office and is greeted by this lady. That's the same woman who was arrested in the DeLorean. Immediately after she greets Neo, he walks past another 2 women who also say hello. And play that again. You might see a face you recognize. This woman here, she looked familiar. It's 50 Cent's baby mother, Daphne Joy. And you're probably thinking, okay, cool. What does any of this have to do with the Diddy situation? We'll get into that. But first, let me show you this last photograph. It's a fresh-faced 18-year-old Cassie who just arrived in New York. Standing next to her is a slightly older lady. You probably can't recognize her with the shades on. But it's the same woman who was arrested driving the DeLorean. She's also the same woman many newspapers described as the Ghislaine Maxwell of hip-hop. This trail's deeper than Diddy, and 50 Cent knows it. But I'll come back to this mysterious woman. Over the course of 4 hours, the Netflix docuseries The Reckoning paints Sean Diddy Combs as a nerdy kid raised by an abusive mother in an unstable home void of a father that was murdered years earlier. This piece sets out to lay out every single negative rumor you've ever heard about Diddy over the 35 years he's been in the music industry. The documentary blames the entire East Coast-West Coast beef on him, and even goes so far as to paint Suge Knight as a calm, gentle, protective businessman who just wanted to do his job, but had to deal with the annoying nerd who now had money and wanted to play gangster. I'm serious, I'm not joking. According to the documentary, the East Coast-West Coast beef started out with Diddy's jealousy of Tupac and Biggie's relationship. But the problem they have is some of us were alive during this time, so we catch some of their clever edits and attempts to gloss over facts that can't be erased. Across the 4 episodes, they interview over 20 people, including the usual suspects like Albie Shaw, Aubrey O'Day, and Lil Rod, and even one of my childhood favorite producers, Eric Sermon. I don't know how much I paid Eric to be involved, but his only real contribution was to say that Diddy was a nerd and dated one of his ex-girlfriends, Misa Hilton. Anyway, let's keep going. This doc really has 50's fingerprints all over it.
So what shirt
Half
he
of
got
what
on?
is explored has at one point been insinuated by 50 in one of his songs. I won't even bother going through every accusation, because I promise you've heard them all before. I guess the big reveal in this whole project is that they managed to get hold of the footage Diddy was filming for his own Netflix documentary. The simple way 50 managed to get hold of this footage is because after Diddy was arrested, the cameraman decided to hold it to ransom and demanded an extortionate amount for the film. But regardless, what does it really show? Diddy panicking and discussing a possible life sentence with his lawyers, taking one possible last walk around the area where he grew up and built his empire. He even talks about seeing the rubble of the demolished building where his Bad Boy Records HQ once stood. As you may have seen from the previews and release clips, they tried to paint the narrative that Diddy really didn't like the people who supported him. It was all fake. And they make a point of highlighting the part where he says he needs to sanitize his hands and shower after greeting over 100 people. Come on, that's just plain childish. To add more fuel to the fire, they even have Roger Bonds, his former security guard, say in episode 3 that he believed Diddy felt uncomfortable around black people. Don't tell me this isn't a personal hit by 50 Cent. Then comes the part everyone was waiting for.
Apparently, I can just tell you I wouldn't want it. Hi, my name is Mia, and I've been creating software for over a year.
Cassie. Her story begins in episode 3. Cassie's portrayed as being completely innocent and void of any wrongdoing, which isn't a surprise, as 50 alluded to in his interview with Robin Roberts.
I believe Cassie's a victim in all this.
What he adds, though, is this documentary was released some 5 months after the end of the trial, so we've all seen the evidence of what role Cassie played in this whole thing. And one person who was interviewed that totally surprised me was a guy named Clayton Howard. If you remember, he was the ex-worker who came out saying that he was a victim